This week on This and That Garage, we are back on the old 65C10. I ain't got a clue what we're going to do, and I don't know how much is going to get done. We're going to do something. Yep. So let us get busy. Here's what I'd like to get accomplished this week on this pile of rust. I got the transmission mostly put back together. All I got to do is pick this up, put a filter on, put that on, we'll be done. Get that put in, cross member, I think that's it right there. I need to paint that, by the way. Get it in, and remember we got to re-drill our holes because we scooted our motor back. Get that done. And I got the inner fenders radiator support outside. I want to pressure wash them, get them painted, get them put in, get the radiator in. I would like to hear this thing run with it sitting in this truck. That's the goal for this week. Also, wouldn't mind making a drive shaft. Let me tell you about the drive shaft real quickly. I've made several drive shafts over the last few years working on junk and on the channel. This is the last one I've got that is any length that might work. I thought, well, let's just use it. I think it's 3-inch. Yep. I was out here the other night getting measurements for U-joints when I realized what kind of a garbage drive shaft is this? There's rubber up in there. It's not welded. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna work. I've never seen one like this. I did a little research and it seemed to be pretty common back in the 60s, I think, for GM and Dodge and probably Ford too. I don't want to use that. Not on a semi-hot rod, nah. So I got tubing ordered. I got 2 ends. I think I've already got them right over there. When the tubing gets here, hopefully this week we'll get a drive shaft built. We'll just have to wait and see, but I definitely want to get the transmission in, cross member, radiator, and at least hear it run. So here's what we're going to do first. Let's get over here and get this transmission ready to go. I got to get the Transmam transmission off of our, what's that called? Our transmission jack. Get it off. Get that one on there and get it in the truck. All right, let's get us a transmission filter in firstly. As you can see, I already got it all put together, torqued down. Brand new wiring harness, because remember our little clips on these down here that hold these on were all broke. They were being held on with little wire ties. I didn't want that. So I got a new wiring harness. What else? I guess that's about it. Just put everything back together. What we got to do firstly is find my screwdriver. Here it is. Get this old seal out right here. Well, I got a new one that came with that filter. Ooh, there it went. Where's the new one? I had it in my hand. Is it in my pockets? No, sir. Well, let me go find it. What in the world? I found it. I found it. Get this little feller here. Put in right here. Let me wipe this off so I don't get dirt all in the transmission. All right, get the filtration device on. Well, if I can hang on to it. Stick her in just like that right there. Go kerplow, go kerplow. Well, did it go in? Yeah, it's in now. Then, brand spankingly new gasket. Which way does it go? Like this, maybe? Yes, sir. All right, pan goes on next, and I got to get up and get my bolts and a socket. No, wait a minute, this ain't working. We're hitting something. What's going on? Well, this is interesting. We're hitting the filter. It sounds like I've never encountered this before. So this is not good, fellas. Sure ain't. I don't know what's going on. This is, bowed down a little, but not that much. It's definitely hitting something, though. Hey, maybe it's this tube. No, it's down all the way. So I don't have a clue what's going on. Sure don't. interesting. I do know they have a couple of different filters. One for a deeper pan. Maybe I got the wrong filter. Let me pull this off. Just like that right there. Are we still hitting stuff? Nope. Well, got our answer there. Well, we got the wrong filter. Yep, sure do. Like I said, I knew there was 2 different depth pans, but I was thinking aftermarket. No, sir. That's one of the changes they made. Remember me telling you there's 2 different versions of the 4L80E, an early and a late. Wasn't sure where it started, 97, 98, somewhere there. Well, it's 97, according to, looking at parts. And I think when I bought this filter, I told them for a 99 or a 2000 C2500 with 4L80E. It's wrong. Yep, that is when they went to the deep pan in 97. So I need to order one for a 96 or earlier, but it's 9 o'clock at night. Yep. And we won't get it tonight. We can do some other stuff. I may go ahead and paint my, what's that called, the cross member? It needs to be painted. We can go outside and pressure wash the stuff going up front here. I got a new flex plate. We put it on, new bolts. And then that's about it, yeah. I wasn't even planning on doing anything tonight. In case you don't know, we didn't have a video last week. Due to my knees, I decided to take a week off. They are mucho better just in the last 2 days. It's like somebody flipped a switch and my knees don't hurt anymore. But it'll probably come back, as soon as I'm up on my feet for any length of time. Anyway, enough about that. I wasn't even planning on working tonight. And I thought, well, I ain't done nothing in a week, bored. Let's get out there and do something. Well, we ain't gonna get to do much, but let's go outside and do some pressure washing real quick. Bird chili cold. Yes, sir, sure is. Whew, that's cold. Well, now that my hands are totally frozen, it's like, well, it's 38 in here on the wall. I don't know what is outside, but it's pretty chilly. But we're going to put the flex plate on. But let me show you something. Y'all know I don't know LS, so I got a lot to learn. Here are the new bolts that come with the flex plate. There's flex plate. They got this ring. See that ring right there moving? What the devil is that for? Never encountered that before in my life. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, if it's got a 4L80E transmission, then it gets this spacer right here. Unless some of the 6.0s, maybe 6.2s probably, the crank stuck out a little further, you don't need this. But this being a 5.3, we got to have this spacer here to run that 4L80E. Also, and oh, by the way, 2 holes here are threaded. I've never encountered that either. I'm assuming that's to help push this off of the crank. You know how sometimes they'll get stuck. I'm assuming that's what that's for. I think this has got a certain way to go too to line up with the hose, but I'm not sure about that either. No, they all line up right there. Or do they? Let me see. That top one. Yeah, that one does. Well, let me just check them all. Make sure they line up. If they do, then we'll tighten them up. Anyway, let me do that right there and get my, where'd my gun go? Here it is. Tighten them up. All right, now that we got that torqued down to the proper spec, why has that thing got play like that? That's weird. Huh. I got something else to tell y'all too about this motor here in a minute. Anyway, now that we got that done, well, I guess we're done for now. Yep. Wait a minute. Look here what I got. I bought, well, I had to buy a whole set of Earl pan bolts. Remember this one long one was broke off in there? Well, let's go ahead and put that little feller up in there whilst we can. All right, there we go. Well, I reckon that's all we're gonna do tonight, but let me tell you about the motor. You know, I told you a minute ago, I had something to tell you about it. Well, if you don't know, my nephew, this was his truck. I bought it from him. He rebuilt that motor, hone and re-ring and new bearings. Well, I recalled him calling me up one day. He said, man, this thing, I got the rotating assembly in it, and this thing, it's kind of hard to turn over. So I went up there, grabbed hold of it, you know, turned the crank over, and it was stiff. It didn't feel like metal to metal, but it was kind of stiff. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to text him here in a little while and ask him. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe he said he could loosen up either the main caps or the rod caps, and it would turn easier. I was like, ooh, well, that ain't good. But then he showed me the assembly lube he was using. I got it over in the cabinet. Let me get it. Let me show you. It's this stuff right here, Ultra Slick from Permatex. And let me tell you, it is, well, it's running down. It's about like honey. Well, y'all can't see it, but it's pretty sticky stuff. When he showed me that, I was like, well, that very well could be what's going on. Hoping it is, but I'm telling y'all that to tell you this. You know, we changed the oil in this thing when we first run it, and it didn't look good. Had a bunch of stuff in the oil pan and all, and changed the oil, and then I forgot to tell y'all, but did I pull the dipstick? I don't remember. And it looked like it had, you know, gray colored again. It wasn't fresh, brand new oil. So we may have something going on with this motor. It may have to come back out and get torn apart eventually, but right now I'm not gonna worry about it. Unless we lose oil pressure, it goes knocking, I'm gonna run it. We'll just have to wait and see. We may, this oil filter here, after we run it for a little while, pull it out and cut it in two and see what happens. But for now, we're gonna send it, yep. Anyways, I'm gonna go in the house, spend a whole hour out here tonight. My left knee, it's already starting to hurt. It ain't bad, but I can tell it's coming. So resting in a week, yeah, I just wasted my time. I am going to the doctor tomorrow for a couple of things. One of those is to get my knees checked out. I'm gonna try to get an MRI, at least on the left one, because it's the worst one. But I gotta have something done, fellas, because for the last month, it's been pretty bad. I can't live like this. Whether it's surgery, knee replacement, something's gonna have to happen with my knees, because, yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Tomorrow, I have to go to the doctor. I got to get some stuff, run around town, paint, and get the draft shaft tube, new transmission filter that will actually fit. So I reckon I'll see y'all tomorrow. Till the next day, y'all look at here. If I can get the top off of this little feller, look here what I got. Oh yeah, turbo can of Rust-Oleum flat black. I've never used turbo can. Kind of anxious to see how it does. Look at the videos. I mean, it's a wide fan, and buddy, it covers. So, without further ado, let's see what she'll do. Oh man, good gracious! You can get runs with this very, very, very easily. Sure enough. Goodness, that's awesome. And that's it for the first coat. What'd it take? 5 seconds? Sure enough, let me get the backside too real quick. All right, I'm gonna let that tack up a little bit. I'll hit it with a second coat. Then I gotta get the other one and the radiator support, and I'll be done with that. Oh, I just busted my top. Well, that's good. Well, I got the stuff painted. There's one of them right there, another's over here somewhere. I really like that turbo can, sure do. What we're doing now, as you can see, we've got the transmission on our transmission jack. I got to get the torque converter on it. It is in that big box right there. It is I believe a 2200 to 2800 stall. You know, it all depends on the amount of torque you make. I figure hopefully it won't be no higher than about 2500. 2500 is what we put in the old Ford. And it's fine if it had an overdrive. It don't, but this one does. Plus it's got lockup, so I think it'll be okay. Let me show y'all something I found though, whilst I was rummaging through our parts department over there the other day. Well, I found this right here. It's an HD2. Well, they call it a reprogramming kit. It's a shift kit. that has not been touched. No, sir. Every bit of it's there, even the gaskets. I bought this for this transmission months ago. Put it over there in the transmission department. Completely forgot about it. Anyways, let me get the torque converter out of the box. We're going to pour a little bit of transmission fluid in it. Get her slipped up on here. Here's the torque converter. Why they gotta be so heavy? Goodness gracious, that thing weighs about 948 pounds. I gotta put about a quart or so into it before we put it on the transmission. Let me go get a funnel. I guarantee I'm gonna spill it. All right, let's see if we can get some fluids in this little fella right here. Gotta let her sit there and drain down a little bit. If I get this filled up, I'll be back. We'll put her on the old transmission. Oh yeah, it's so heavy. Got her filled up. Let's get this little feller on here. See if we can't get her to clump. There's once. There's twice. Is that it? Probably, but I ain't real sure. Let me see if I can find a measurement online from here to here to make sure that we got her where she goes. If it is, well, we'll put her in the truck. According to the interwebs, from here to the mounting pad should be 1 inch to 1 1/8 inches. So what do we have right here? Approximately exactly 1.215 minus 1/8. So that's 75, 1 inch and 85. We're where we should be. Oh yeah. This little fella here don't want to roll. Let's put it about in this area here. And we'll let her on down. About right there. Make sure we ain't gonna hit nothing. Going down. Y'all watch, make sure I don't hit nothing. Let's go on down a little more, because this jack, remember, it don't go up real high. All right, let's get under there and get her bolted up. Well, I don't know what y'all be able to see because it's kind of cramped right now, because I gotta have the lift so low and I can't stand up really, but let's get this little feller jacked up and over in place and get a bolt or two in it. Well, my jacking thing is 180 degrees out. Let me spin this jack. Man, that hurts my knee. It sure does. Going up. What am I hitting? I just heard something squeak. Hitting the exhaust over here. Let me get on around it. Something's in the way. The exhaust over here, I think now. What in the devil? I might take the exhaust off. Let me go down. Maybe I can get around that exhaust, or I may have to take that collector off. Let's see if I can go around it first. No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to go around it. I may have to cut an ear off of this transmission. Yep, let me at least pull that collector off. I shall return when I get that done because it's kind of cramped under here. All right, I got that one collector out of the way. Let's give this another try. Yeah, I can tell you right now. It ain't gonna work. That one's in the way over there. This one's in the way over here. Sure is. Cause I'm right there at the dowel pins now. Yeah. So we're gonna have to pull the transmission back out. Yeah. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get y'all up in here where you can see what I'm talking about. But this ear right here was hitting this. This is hitting this. And then you come over here to this side and got the same thing. This ear here gonna be right in the way of the exhaust coming through. So we gotta pull the transmission out and go to cutting. I'm gonna mark this little feller approximately where I want to cut it. Probably right down through yonder way, and then this in here, probably about right through here. And then we got to cut this ear off right here too. Get to cutting, boys. We'll use a Sawzall on this. It's less messy than, what's it called? Cut-off wheel. Well, there's one. Let me get this one right here. Ta-da! All right, we're back under the truck with it. I'm trying to get her jacked up and sort of in place. Approximately right there. Go on up, man, go on up. What do I gotta have? Well, it's about right. This away. Let's see, go on in. Where are we hitting? Oh, I got to go this way. And then when I do that, I got to go back up with the jack. Probably right there. Going up. Approximately there. Right there. I think she just halfway slid in. Let's see. We are in over here. We are not in. We got to go up. Right here. Which way does it go up? This way. I do apologize because I'm sure y'all can't see a dad blame thing except for my back. But well, she's crowded in here, fellas. Let me get a bolt in if I can find them. Can we get this little fella in there? Well, right there. If I can get 2 bolts in it, I'll be happy. There's one. Let me get the other one over here. By George, I got 2 in. Let me tighten them up. Actually, let's just go ahead and get the rest of them started. If I can. Oh, yeah, look at there. All right, let me get these started. I shall return. All right, she's bolted in, fellers. Let me go get the cross member. We got to work on these new holes. Well, I completely forgot to paint the cross member here. Just got done painting it, so I'm gonna let it dry for a little while. I'm gonna go in the house and rest my knee whilst it dries, and then come back out and we'll fool with this. But let me show you what I did whilst I waited on the other to dry. Got me some wheels. Oh, look at here, ain't they pretty and shiny? No, sir, it's not for this truck. That's from S10. That thing there, you know, it's lowered, and I got 17-inch wheels on it. Ever since I lowered that thing 15 plus years ago, it has had a shimmy and a shake all the time. I thought it was tires at first. You know, balanced them at a different shop. It would help some. Then the next set of tires, you know, shimmy and shake. There's a shake in the front, shake in the back. And I've done everything except for change wheels. Well, that's what they're for. Yep, they're 15. It's the same thing that's going on Dude. I'll show y'all when I get them on the truck. But it's the same thing that's on Dude. Anyway, that's what I worked on while I waited on the other paint to dry tonight. Anyway, I'm going to go in the house, rest my knees while that cross member dries. Then we'll put it on. I would like to, well, we got to re-drill those holes for the cross member. I'd like to get the, them things we just painted, inner fenders in and the brad support. We'll just have to wait and see, depending on how my knee feels. But anyways, see y'all a little bit. All right, we're back. And here's what we're going to do. I don't have a good way, you know, this sits on top of the frame. There's not a good way to drill a hole from the top, mark the hole, whatever. So here's what we're going to attempt to do. Where did my thing go? Right here. We're going to let this little feller down. Hopefully where this cross member will hang on the bottom side of the frame. That way I can drill my holes. Let's see if that's low enough. Put this little feller up in hither. Put us a bolt in it, or a nut on it, about like that right there. Then let's jack her up till that's touching the frame. Going up. Approximately right there. Now what I got to do is measure from here to here. That's 11 1/4. What we got over here? 10 5/8. So this needs to twist. What we got right there? 10 3/4, maybe a little more. What we got right here? 11. So let's go back about right there. 10 7/8. 10 7/8. Now I got room to do a punch mark and drill from the bottom, so that's what I plan on doing. Approximately right there. Let me get a drill bit. Wonder what size they are. Let me measure. It looks like probably a 3/8 though. They are approximately exactly. Those are 70/16. So I think I was using 3/8 bolts, but we'll drill them out to 70/16s. But we'll start with a small. Where did my drill bit? Here it is. We'll start with a small drill bit, like a 1/4 inch or something. Let me see if this in here is sharp. Yeah, I think so. We'll try it. Y'all look at here too. Oh yeah, brand spankingly new DeWalt drill. Phooey on that other piece of junk. Let me get this here hole drilled. All right, let me go on up, get this one drilled. That's duller than my head. Let me go sharpen it. All right, let's drill this one out. Ooh, that's hot. Man, it's hot. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. All right, let me get a bolt stuck down in here to keep that lined up best I can. Once again, we are crowded under here. This cross member is right in the way. If I put y'all back here with the camera, you won't see nothing that I'm doing. So I got to put you over there on the side. Anyway, let's get this little feller up in here just to keep this lined up. Then we're going to measure this side once more. 10 7/8. Let me drill and punch and drill this one over here real quick. Let me get a bolt over here to hold this one in place. Let me get these two front ones done and I'll be back in a minute. Well, I got them all drilled. Let's get these here bolts loose and out of the way. Then we'll let it down so I can get the cross member loose. Then put it up in here where it goes. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta raise that up. Going up! Now we can put this in. Going down! Let me get some bolts. These were 7/16s. That's what I drilled the holes out to, but they're not gonna line up perfect, so let me get a 3/8 bolt. 3 of the 8, sir, 3 of the 8s. There's one. Let me get the rest of them in. What's happening there? Is that the wrong socket, or I think it broke loose in the mount. Yep, pretty sure. What in the world? Or no, wait a minute. This is the wrong nut. Is that metrical? If it is, I don't have one because I lost. I don't know where it's at. So I'll have to get one. Yeah, I bet it's metric. Anyway, we got that done. Let me get this feller out of the way. This, what's it called? Transmission jack. Well, it's stuck. I think I did this before. My ratcheting area it's hitting the fire or the bottom of the floorboard. Let me see if I can get it loose. If not, I'll have to cut it. Anyway, I'll be back in a little bit when I get this out of the way. Bartez, it is in its home for hopefully the remainder of its life. Hopefully that's a good long life. I got to get a nut for that. I don't know what I did with them, these bolts either. Ain't no telling with me, fellas. Anyway, let's let him down. I'm not sure if I'm going to fool with them inner fenders tonight or not, but let's let her down and just look at it anyway. Well, fellas, I'm about done for the day. The old knees are killing me, but let's see if we can't get these little fellers put in place. I don't even know how it goes. Does it go like this? Oh me, oh me. Or like this? I think it goes like this, some kind of way. Yeah, these two bolts here go there. Let me see what size they are. We'll put a couple bolts in there. Are these the proper size? Why, yes, they are. All right, let's get this little feller. I didn't do a very good job of painting this in certain areas. Right in here, I'm gonna have to hit that again maybe. Let's get this feller bolted up for now though. All right, let me get the other one on very quickly. What in the devil? Somebody has bondoed this area right in here. What is wrong with people? Why would you waste your time to do that? What in the world? Let's see, does this go way out here? I guess it does. All right, there's one. There's the other one. I gotta show y'all something about this firewall area here in a minute too. It's pretty bad. Yep. There's something going on with these here holes that bolt the rad support to your inner fender. I can't get the bolts to go in it, so let me run this die through it, see what's going on. There's a 5/16 right there. Well, the sucker's going in the hole, so why would the bolt not? Well. That ain't gonna be able to spin. Let me get a socket and a ratchet to go on. I got little sockets that fit these. Let me get that and a ratchet. Oh yeah, man, that hurts. Whew. Now she'll go. Let me get them other two. And I will return. Well, I got them little fellers cleaned out. Let's get this little feller here put in place. Just like that right there. Get us a bolt. See if our holes will line up. Approximately like that. I do have new stuff, I think I do, to go under here. I'll have to look and see. All that pile of stuff there goes for this truck. I think I bought them, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look and see. Ta-da! With Artez, we got some of the front end started. Yep, starting to come together. I'm getting a little excited when you get to this stage here and, start putting it together for the final time. Yep, that's when you get excited because it's going to be on the road for too long. What I want to do sometime the next day or two before we get too far into it, I want to pull this bracket off. See how nasty it looks? Pull it off, hit it with some oven cleaner, scrub it real good, get that cleaned up a little bit better. Also, like I said, there's a few spots in here I want to hit with some more paint. Just here and there and everywhere. Painted that sort of in the dark. You don't paint in the dark. No, that's kind of a dumb thing to do. But anyway, like I said, I believe I got the things that go here. If not, I will cut some old tire or something put in there. It don't matter, fella. Just something to keep it, from squeaking and carrying on. I do know I got the rubbers for the radiator. Yep. Anyway, I wanted to get this in tonight because I wanted to make sure we were gonna have room here. We got plenty of room. That radiator, it won't come out to maybe right there. I think we're good to go on that. Yep, sure are. Well, I'm fixing to go in the house. Yep, I've been out here, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and that's all I can do until I get my niece figured out. This is Saturday, by the way, so that means Sunday is tomorrow. Y'all know Sunday's day rest. That's what I plan on doing. I hope y'all do the same. Monday, I want to get the radiator in. Like I said, we'll pull that accessory bracket off and clean it. We'll just, I don't know, keep on working on it. Yep, that's all I know to do till we get it done. I shall see y'all Monday, though. Well, it is Monday, and y'all look here what we got. A brand spanking new radiator from AlloyWorksPlus.com. You know, they've supplied us radiators for a couple other vehicles. Well, they sent us one for this whole truck here too. Let's get this out of this here box and see what we got. Oh, it's got the fan shroud and fans already bolted on this time. Awesome. We don't even have to fool with that. Alright. Got transmission cooler lines right there that we will most likely hook up. But yes, sir, there's kids right there. Awesome. Now, what is in this little feller here? That is a fan controller. Yeah, there's a relay, a fuse, sending unit. That's what that is. Yep. You stick it in the water jacket. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty neat that they send you a fan control with the whole unit. Awesome. Let me give y'all a little close-up look at it. I believe this is the third radiator that they have sent us. The other two performed greatly. Sure did. Pretty good radiators. Yep. Can't wait to get it in the truck and see how it does. AlloyWorksPlus.com. Yep, that's who you want to go to for your radiator needs. We even have a discount code of 8%. It is TNTG. I'll put that right here on the screen. I'll put it in the description below with a link to their website, a link to this radiator specifically too, if you need one of them for your 62 through 66 C10s. I believe they've got a lot of other stuff other than radiators. Y'all go check them out, AlloyWorksPlus.com. Appreciate it. Let's get this radiator in this truck. Look here what I found a minute ago. Remember telling you Saturday night that I thought I had rubber for the rad support? Well, here it is right here. That's the whole kit. That's how it stacks. The frame goes in the middle right there. So let's get that put on. Then we'll get the radiator put in. All right, let's get this conglomerate of things right down in here. Maybe. Well, that ain't going to fit because, well, it just ain't going to fit. I got to do some body work right here. That little fella there needs to be pried out or something. I don't know if this is like a factory replacement deal or if it's just a universal something or other they sell. But hopefully it'll fit. Where did it go? Right here. That right there. Well, it still don't fit. So that's good. That's real good. What about the other side? What does it look like? Same thing. It don't fit. What in the world, man? You just can't buy nothing right anymore. Nope. So we'll bypass that for now. I'll worry about that later. Let's get the radiator in. Here's the stuff I bought for the radiator support stuff. I hope it's right. This folds up like that right there. Top and bottom. And I bought two of these. These are for the top. Well, I thought I needed two, but I think it only gets one because there's only one set of holes here. Those match up. So yeah, I think we only need one of them. This piece here is all bent up. It's going to come off. Yeah, let's take that off. This is bowed a little bit. Let me do a little work on it. Then we'll put the radiator in. Ta-da! It's twisted that way and bowed down a little bit. I don't know that I can do anything with it, but we're going to give her the old try. Oh yeah, she's a twisting. That ain't bad right there. Now, let me hit that with a little bit of paint. You probably won't be able to see it, but maybe, so let me hit it with some paint. Let me prep the surface real quick, like. There you go. It's prepped. Let that dry for a minute. Then we'll get our stuff down in here. Oh, yeah. We can go ahead and put this rubber in there whilst we wait on the paint to dry. It just fits in just like that right there. Oh yeah, let me get the other one. Whilst we wait on this to dry some more, let's go ahead and pull this accessory bracket off and go to cleaning it up. I'm afraid to lay stuff on my fenders here. I don't want to scratch them up. You know, it is flat black, but it will scratch still. The reason I paint this stuff flat black is there's no body work. It's got dents and dings and scratches. And if you got stuff like that, you you don't want to paint it a glossy. No, sir, it'll look terrible. Paint it flat. Oh, there's another one somewhere else because that won't come loose. Well, as soon as I find this, and I'll get it out and we'll take it outside and clean it. Oh, there it is right in front of my face. Y'all know something else I forgot to do the other night? I didn't bolt up the torque converter. We'll have to do that here in a little bit. Let's clean this first, though. Be gone, you foul grease beast. Well, look here, fellas. Y'all ain't gonna believe me unless I show you, but I picked this bracket up to put it on the truck, and, well, this piece here broke off. That's what holds a alternator on. It's underneath the truck there somewhere. Well, I thought, you know what? I got a 6.0 over here. Let's go get it. Well, that little feller broke too. Sure is. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. Might have to get some aftermarket brackets. I don't know. We'll have to see, but fool on that for now. Let's see if we can get that radiator in here. All righty. And then these little fellers here were right here. It sort of looks like maybe the old fan shroud might have hooked to them. I got to look at them and said, yeah, they're useless. So I took them off. Yeah, we don't need them. Let's see if this little radiator is going to fit down in here. Got plenty of room for the distributor there. Well, you know what? Radiator don't fit. It really don't. Well, what are we going to do about that? Let me take the rubber out and just see if it'll fit in the bracket alone. Well, that rubber is kind of thick. What about now? No. Well, that ain't good. No. I'll have to get with alloyworksplus.com. Let them know what's going on and see what they want to do about that. Yep. Here's the top bracket for it. I just wanted to see what it looks like, and well, you can see it likes quite a bit fitting. I'll get with Alloy Works and we'll get the right radiator, hopefully. Well, today's been a bust. Yep, everything I have touched is, well, it's been a disaster. Our radiator support bushings don't fit. We broke our accessory bracket. Radiator don't fit in the bottom brackets. Well, that's you know, typical day here at This and That Garage, MLS Central, backyard butcher capital of the world. Yep, deal with it on a daily basis. You just have to make it work and keep on trucking. Yep. I do think I'm going to end the video up right here. I know we're a little, you know, shorter than normal. We discussed that last week. Hopefully, eventually, fellas, I'll get my knees figured out and we can go back to, you know, regular length videos, getting a lot more done during the week, but that's just how it goes. Next week, we will be back on this. I would like to get the exhaust done, maybe a drive shaft done, and get it where we can fire it up and at least, you know, back it in and out of here. That would be nice. That's the goal. Whether or not we hit it, I don't know. You just have to wait and see. Anyways, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. See y'all on the next one.